Hey Antonio,
What's up?
how are you?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I've never done one of these from outside. I usually do it in like my little studio space, which you can kind of see from the uh, videos, but it's so nice out today. I felt like I wanted to do it outside.
Yeah, I hear you. It
Where,
is it's pretty nice out where you are. It's not nice out where I'm at. I'm in Tacoma, it's raining.
oh, really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out here. I'm in Seattle though.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So, were you born and raised in Tacoma?
I was born in Lakewood, but I was raised in Tacoma.
Cool. So, what got you into art?
Literally just video games, cartoons, some of the people that I hung out with. I've always been interested in, like drawing and art and things like that. So I latched onto it when I was a kid just from watching a lot of like cartoons, how boys do.
Yes. I girls too, man. I watched so many cartoons. And so many cartoons. Um, what? So when I was looking through your art, it seemed like you were pretty inspired by like street art. Would you say that that's accurate?
I'm pretty inspired by anything really that I see, from the streets to video games to books to people to still life to random nature and even the abstract things that come out of my mind that I don't see.
That's awesome. So what kind of abstract stuff usually comes out of your mind?
Um, just stuff like the stained glass on the wave, like you see behind me. Just
Yeah,
uh, the shapes piece, and then just that little lip thing. Those are just random pieces that I just came up with out of my mind. Yeah.
that's awesome. So, what kind of stuff do you like to do with your art? Like, do you like to do art shows? Do you do markets? Like, where can we find you out in the world doing art stuff?
I've only done one art show. This would probably be the second one if you would consider it an art show. The first one I did was in Seattle called the Raw Art Show.
Oh,
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It was like 2016 or 2018. I can't remember the exact year, but
yeah.
I was part of that. It was pretty cool. I had a good time. As far as to where you can find me, you can just direct message me on my Instagram. I'm not really out and about too much. I'm usually, in the studio creating, painting, or trying to find some form of inspiration out in the real world.
Nice. So do you have your own studio or like where you do your
Um, I actually like built like a little like extension onto my garage, and then I just paint out there.
that's awesome.
Right now I'm in my room, or I should say my little my little photo studio.
Like live in portfolio?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, have you been keeping up with kind of the movements and stuff that's been going on lately?
Yeah, here and there, I'm trying to still, take care of the things that I need to take care of in my personal life. But of course, I am staying current with what's going on with my people and around the world.
Cool. How has some of that like inspired any art for you?
Um, it always does and will. I actually have a piece that I did quite some time ago. I just thought it was a little too controversial at the time to post. I may post it later on, this week or something. But other than that, I really don't, do too many political things. I try to just stick to, what I feel like makes people feel good and, what I feel like they want to see, you know, creating things and paintings where people would see and think like, oh, that's a place that I might want to go, or that's, seems like like a sick, like made up little scene or whatever.
Yeah, that's really cool, and I feel like that's a really important way to use art. Like And to me, it almost does seem political, like because you're able to offer people maybe some peace or maybe like a reprise from all of the um, like intense stuff that's going on.
Yeah, that's really just what it is. Just, taking your focus from something negative and trying to turn it into something positive, something that you can look at and appreciate and feel good about, rather than something that you look at with disdain or
Right,
disgust.
right. That's a,
Because
such
that's
a
pretty
good.
much, yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
go
much
ahead.
all you see when you turn on the TV and you hear the news and you go on social media and stuff. Is not good things going on today, especially not for people like me. So I'm just
Right,
trying to stay as positive and creative as I can in the midst of all this.
totally. So what kind of stuff? What 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 have you been doing in order to stay positive? I know, like for me and a lot of other artists, like it's been really hard to maintain that positivity right now. But what suggestions do you have for people?
I would just say, just basically, just get back to your foundation of your creation or your inspiration and what initially interests you in art. For me, I watch a lot of like Dragon Ball Z and play video games, and I do a lot of like random things with different art mediums and just combine them and just see what I can get. And that's pretty much how I, get my inspiration.
Okay, we have a question from an audience member. So she wants to know more about your political piece and that you created. Like, can you tell us what it looks like, maybe? And like what event or like what happening inspired you to create it?
So it was like I did it in like 2014 and 2015. It was like a futuristic newspaper, and I drew it up as like a newspaper in the same setting and scale, and I just put like different pieces of information that I thought might come to fruition later on in life, such as, like a gay senator running for president, or an 8-year-old child having a sex change. But the biggest headline for me was the one in the middle. It was the U.S. regresses back to the 1967s or 76. I can't
Mhm.
remember exactly what it was, but it was basically saying that, all the work we did as a nation has been for naught, because we're still going through what we're going through, and racism is still prevalent and evident in today, which is crazy. But hey, some people think that way, and to each their own. So the piece was basically just an eye opener to that, and to just say that, we need to do something about racism, and if we don't, this is what's going to happen. And
Yeah,
that's what the piece was about. Just, if we don't do something now, this is what's going to happen. And the history will repeat itself if you do not change the past.
yeah. And so, is that what you feel like is happening right now?
Absolutely. I just feel like it's not getting as bad as it was back then yet. You know, like when Rodney King got beat, they rioted for a while, and they tore a lot of places down and burned a lot of places down. So I expect that to come if something else happens next. So I hope they take that to heart, and I hope they see all this pain, and I hope they do something to change it.
Yeah, I hope so too. Let's see if there are any more questions. Not yet. That's okay. Oh, we do have another question from another audience member. So, where do you see your art going in the future? And do you have plans to create on a larger scale?
Um, I see my art going in many different places. I just need to connect with the right people and produce more and post more. And as far as the larger scale thing goes, I've created large pieces before, and I've done murals. They're just like in places, in buildings and stuff like that. You have to go physically see them. But I feel like, I'm
That's
just
awesome.
trying to be as prepared as I can, create as many pieces as I can in preparations for the time comes when I do get an opportunity like this, or another opportunity to present myself, that I'm ready for.
Cool. Well, so can you tell us a little bit more about these murals that you've put together? Like, where are they? Uh, what were they for?
So one of the murals I did was for a local coffee shop called Valhalla Coffee. It's in Tacoma.
I love that
Um,
place.
yeah, the mural was located inside of the Seven Seas Brewery because they had like a little little sub hub coffee station there. They also have another one on Sixth Ave. I didn't do the sign for that one, but I worked on the other sign for the other shop they have. I don't know if it's still open inside the Seven Seas Brewery, but that's where it's located. And I just
I
did that
don't think
because they
it's open.
requested it. You know,
Go ahead. My bad.
I was just saying that I
Yeah,
just
I
did
don't
it
think it's open
because
right now.
oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
when it
Go ahead.
does open, maybe you can go check it out, or whoever's watching this, go check it out, have some coffee, or have a beer or whatever. But it was just a request from the actual people who own Valhalla, and I was brought on to the project by an old friend of mine, and we just created the mural together.
That's cool. I love it when like I'm doing art stuff and then I get a new opportunity because of like something I worked on with somebody in the past.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Just collaborating and then building off of those opportunities and trying to do things for yourself.
Yeah. Um, oh, excuse me. So, what do you think is what's your favorite collaboration that you've done so far?
Um, I would. It was probably the Grit City art show that I helped out my friend. He did a few pieces for art show there, and I just helped him do some color waves and some coloring on it, and helped him present it. But it was pretty fun. I got to work with somebody who is very talented and who's known in the community, and he kind of schooled me and helped me out a little bit too. So it was kind of like a give and take situation for both of us.
That's awesome. Do you have any more collaborations in the works right now?
As of right now, I do not. I would love to collaborate with somebody. I just haven't really found anybody who's on the creativity wave that I'm on. So I'm just
So,
just waiting on opportunities while I'm trying to stay prepared.
totally. It looks like we have another question from the audience, which is also kind of my question too. Um, so he's wondering how did you get to be a part of Raw, the art show?
Well, I applied for the art show, and it was like out of 1,000 or more applicants, and they chose me to do the show. So that's how they do it. They I guess they just select from the best in the area or who they want to, I don't know, present. I'm not entirely sure how they do the selection other than the applicant thing.
Oh,
But I just applied for it, and they picked me, and it was cool. It was a cool experience. It was the first show I ever did. I made the most money at the show. I did a live painting. I raffled that off. Sold a few
oh,
things.
wow.
Yeah.
What did you paint?
It was like an African sunset scene with some water in the front and like some animals in the back. It's pretty chill.
Yeah, that sounds chill. I really appreciate kind of the chill vibes that you bring to your art. It's so needed right now.
Yeah, that's what I am. I'm a chill individual, and I like to keep it chill and be chill.
That's awesome. What kind of music do you listen to when you're working to keep you on that chill vibe?
It just depends. Like sometimes I'll listen to just like random rap on Pandora or on YouTube, and sometimes I'll throw on some lo-fi hip hop or lo-fi jazz and just paint to some instrumentals, just
Do
vibe
you
it
ever
out.
listen? Yeah, for sure, dude. I use the lo-fi stuff when I need to focus too, so I definitely feel you on that. What about reggae? Do you ever listen to reggae?
Here and there, here and there.
Yeah.
Not usually when I'm painting though. That's more of like just like a chill, do nothing type of vibe for me.
Um, Tony says shout out to the lo-fi too. So we had another question from the audience. How did your art career change um, after the Raw art show?
It just basically just for me let me know that I'm able to produce and compete on a level that I didn't know, which is the same or better level of the artists that are in my general area.
Mm,
Just you just book a show, you do well, people like you, boost your confidence, keep doing shows, and it'll keep doing that for you until eventually you pop.
yeah. So, um, I mean, do you want to pop? Like, is that what you would like to have, like, your career be art?
For sure, for sure. I would love to get, paid to do art for life. That's also been a dream of mine, and I was kind of doing it for a while. I just stopped doing it.
So, what other stuff do you do now?
Right now I'm just, just working out, gym, just hanging out at home, staying healthy, staying safe, staying level-headed, trying to create.
Nice. Yeah, sometimes I don't know if this has ever been true for you, but like for me, even though like I am an artist and I identify as an artist, sometimes I go through seasons where I'm not really creating as much.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then it like makes me wonder if I really can be a full-time artist because I don't know what to do about it when I go through these seasons of not creating as much and then like how would I pay my bills if I'm not creating as much? You know what I mean?
yeah, I do. Well, for me, I have the same, type of thing. Sometimes I'll come to art and then I'll go away from it. But when I do come back to it, I usually come with a plethora of ideas and creations, and I'll do like 10 pieces in like 2 days or like 7 or 8 hours. So whenever I go away and come back, I usually come back with enough juice to propel me for the year or for 6, 9 months. So I'm not really, per se worried about stopping and starting because I always come back with something that, people want to see.
Nice. We got a couple more questions from the audience. They're super involved today. So first one, how has growing up in Tacoma slash the Pacific Northwest area inspired your art? So that maybe we'll split this into two questions.
Um, as far as that goes, I would just say like it just really just inspired like my scenic feel when it comes to me painting because like there's a lot of like nothing but seas, water, trees, lakes around here. So I love painting that type of stuff. So that's like a majority of what I paint. So it's helpful to see natural lighting on trees in real life so you can, get a better perspective rather than looking at a picture. So it
Totally.
helps to be in a real nature setting when you're trying to paint the nature setting versus a picture, but you can do both.
Nice.
So it helps
Yeah,
living
I would
here.
definitely. Yeah, it does. I think some of my like first paintings that I'm really proud of were of like mountain and tree landscapes. So I
Yeah,
definitely feel that.
I'm pretty dope at mountains.
Nice.
I'd
Do you
say.
have any
Yeah.
that we can see?
This is like the very first piece that I ever did. If you could see it.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
get a little closer?
Yeah.
Am I asking you to do too much?
Can you see it?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, the trees aren't that good, but it was like the very, very first piece that I ever did back
it
in
looks
like
good.
2013. Yeah, I haven't been painting that long. I've only been painting for like 3 years.
Wow,
I just picked it up, just randomly, just tried some stuff.
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you definitely have the talent. You have the hands. Um, so this second part of this question, what does community connection mean to you?
It means a lot. It just means to me that whatever I create for the community, within the community, will always be here.
Mm,
And that's special to me because it's kind of like, putting your stamp on not only the business, but the area. And that's what I'm trying to do.
that's awesome. Like kind of like build your legacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Okay, we have another question from the audience. Doo-doo-doo. So this is going back a little bit more to maybe some of the business side of things.
Yeah.
How does social media help leverage your artist career?
I mean, I'm not too big on social media, but as far as the leverage goes, I would just say it helps people who you would never be able to meet in real life see your work. At times, you might not be able to show them. You know, somebody might be up at a random time searching the web and they'll see like a random hashtag and your art will pop up and then they'll start liking and following you. And that's pretty much, the gist of social media, I would say. It doesn't really do much more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think during
Until
these
you get paid, at least.
right, yeah, of course. I feel like too during these times where physical galleries and stuff like that are kind of closed down. The social media can kind of exist as like a online interim gallery as well.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I use it for. Is just like an online gallery. People just view my work, stay current in what I'm currently posting, not doing.
Yeah. So do you mostly just post your art then and not like your
Yeah, yeah.
lifestyle?
I keep
Nice.
it just for the art because that's what I'm trying to do.
Shoot. Um, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good, good. It froze for a second, but we're back. Um, cool. So what else? What kind of dreams do you have for your art? Like you spoke on it a little bit, but like what about getting a little bit more specifically? Where do you hope that we'll be able to see you in the next 5, 10 years?
I just want to just be regarded as one of the greatest artists in the Pacific Northwest. Really, just be up there with Chihuly. Maybe have like a little section in the Tacoma Art Museum dedicated to me. Like later on down the line, really just show people that you can come from a place like this and still make something of yourself, do something with your life. If you got a little bit
Yeah,
of talent, a little bit of hard work and dedication.
that's beautiful. So what are your plans for getting there? Like what are the steps that you're taking?
Picking up as many art shows as I can, creating as much stuff as I can, staying as prepared and ready as I can with the new content, and just trying to, be as relevant as I can in the position where I'm at.
Cool. So what kind of advice would you have for people who are just starting out, who are similar to you? Maybe they don't feel like they have a lot, but they have similar goals and they want to actually make it big and make it pop. What advice would you give those people?
Just keep creating, keep creating. You don't have to post everything you do, but definitely I would just say keep creating. Try new things, try different mediums. I I never tried painting, and I've tried painting, and I guess this is what happened from it. So try new things.
Nice. So do you usually use acrylics or do you use lots of different kinds of mediums?
I actually started with the most difficult medium of acrylic.
What?
It's oil-based acrylic, so it's
Yeah.
like I started with that. So that's pretty much what I learned.
Those are hard. Do you still paint with
Yeah,
oils right now?
I do. I like painting with all types of paints, but oil-based acrylic is just the best to me. It blends the best. It's smooth. You can do a lot of things with it that you can't do with other paints.
But how do you get it to dry? Every time I try to paint with oil-based acrylics, I mess up the painting because it doesn't dry.
Yeah, it dries on its own. It takes about, anywhere from a week to 3 weeks depending on the
Oh,
size of the painting. So you can't really like I'd say like as soon as you're done with it, like baby it, go hang it up immediately or go put it somewhere where nothing will fall on it or dust will get on it because it will take a long time to dry.
okay. That makes sense. See, I needed to talk to somebody like you because I was letting my pieces dry for like 2 days or something like that.
No, 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 no.
Okay, yeah, I've ruined a few masterpieces that way, which is
Yeah,
unfortunate.
yeah.
Okay, good to know. So, you have a lot of knowledge, it seems like. Have you ever thought about like being an art teacher or like doing community classes or something?
I actually have. I applied for a few jobs. I got to the second and third interviews that just didn't fall through, and I didn't get the jobs and positions. But I'm still looking, and I'm still interested for sure.
Cool. Well, at Art Parlor, I mean, part of what I think one of the audience members was kind of getting at, we do lots of different stuff. So we're sort of like a community program that's housed usually at this place called Pixel Parlor. And the owner of Pixel Parlor, she does lots of different kinds of workshops and classes, like around how to leverage social media for your career. So you could
Okay.
definitely take advantage of that if you wanted to. But something else that we've been really interested in doing when things are a little bit more open again is some like community-based art classes. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, so that would be cool. And our the studio is just based in Kent too, so it's not too far from Tacoma.
Yeah.
And then another audience member says, check out Pratt Fine Arts. Have you heard of Pratt?
I have not. I will
So,
definitely do that.
yeah, Pratt is a place in Seattle, and they do a lot of really cool, like, community art classes. And it is kind of a trek for you, obviously, coming all the way from
Yeah.
Tacoma because it's in the Central District in Seattle. But it's a lot of black artists there, a lot of artists of color.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
Yeah, and they have like scholarships for kids too, so they try to be like really equal opportunity there.
Okay, cool. I'll have to check them out as well.
Yeah. But we'll definitely follow up with you about art classes when we're able to. And um, so we're kind of running a little bit low on time here because we usually
Okay.
do half hours. But I'm wondering, you know, what are some of the last couple things you want to leave the audience with? Like, what are your thoughts? What do you want to let people know?
Uh, just stay strong, stay healthy, stay humble, stay creative.
Cool. From the masterpiece himself. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Antonio. This was fun. It was nice to get to know you a little bit more and learn about kind of your history with art and where you want to see yourself going too.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And we'll have this video up on YouTube for you pretty soon. And to the rest of the audience members, we'll see you next week.
Alrighty. See
Bye.
ya.